9, 2, 1, live.
What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
We're back with another live episode. I'm super excited.
Me too. I'm going to move my drink over here.
Yeah,
I'll knock it over.
I'm like flailing a lot.
You're talking very Italian with your hands tonight, which is okay. I don't mind, but I don't want drink spilt all over our gear here. Gear here. David, what's going on, man? Well, let me tell you about my day.
Should we start with the day?
Funny thing, I was woken up today at about 6 a.m. to go to a meeting, to an appointment that was made by my, not pointing at anybody, cohort here.
Yeah.
And hey, Chris, how are you, man?
Hey, Chris. Thanks for being on.
So, long story short, I had to be up at 6 a.m. to be at somewhere at 7:30 a.m., only to find out that this guy didn't realize that you had to make an appointment to go in.
Sorry.
So, therefore...
Big Earn,
what's up, man?
Hey to the hello.
Hey to the hello. I like that one. So therefore, we basically were up at that time of the morning for no reason. And I'm not bitter or angry about it yet.
But we're just a little tired.
I will say this. The last time that I was up that early, it was because I hadn't gone to bed the night before yet. So that was mad early for me. Look at this. Doug, what's going on? Gabriel in the house. What's up? Oh, man. I'm so glad to see the Gabe here.
Yes, let's go, baby.
Get Mike Tech on. Mike Tech too, but I meant Mike Villa. Not that I don't want Mike Tech to be on here, but get Mike Villa too. Get everybody on here.
Dang, Nick, that was a Sid move.
Dropping those Sid moves on you, man.
It was the Sidiest of moves. If y'all don't know, apparently I look like Sid from Ice Age.
Do like a natural aura is in the house. I'm just clicking all over the place on this thing.
Hey.
We got a good group tonight, man. All right. So all joking aside, though, I'm pretty pissed. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not mad. We're going tomorrow. We have an appointment for tomorrow now, so we're good to go. Could you guys check out this blog on security data on Clubhouse?
We sure
Thank
can.
You. Sure,
absolutely.
Why not?
We could talk about it tonight.
Is he sending us a blog or what's going on? All right.
Yeah.
So tonight we are joined. Let's get him on here. Let's just get him on here.
Yeah.
Frank, what's up?
Hey, what's kicking?
We got Frank in the house with us tonight, rocking the old school Mets shirt. Look at this.
That's right.
Mr. Met.
East side, west side. Let's go.
Looking like a G.
I like it, bro. And I see you decided to join me in the backward hat night, so that's good. Good to know.
That's right, man. Always rocking the backwards hat. And you know what? I figured since I'm always wearing like DJ product shirts, it was time to switch it up.
That's a good idea. Got to keep it fresh. So what's shaking in the VA, man?
Absolutely nothing.
That's Virginia
right now.
For people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. VA, 2 up, 2 down.
Look at here, man. Look at here.
Clubhouse.
Calling you King Clubhouse in the. Ooh,
I'll take it. I'll take whatever name I can get at this point.
By the way, I was told if I don't cuss within the first 30 seconds to a minute, then I'm in good shape with YouTube.
With the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, but if I cuss before the 1 minute deal, I'm screwed. So fuck it. I mean, so never mind. Frank is beautiful.
Just for you, Gabriel. Smiling more just for you.
I love it, man. I love all these comments coming in. Woo! Frank, do you have a DP? We should have rehearsed this ahead of time. That's all right. No, we're okay with that. We're okay with that. Are they made by the same company? I don't even know.
Probably.
No, I think Dr. Pepper's like their own company, right?
They do.
Cheers to you, Frank. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
And cheers to everybody else out there. You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining us.
Let's have fun tonight. Apparently, Dr. Pepper is also known in the South as barbecue water. Did not know that.
Who told you that?
Some people from Texas.
Barbecue water.
Yeah.
First of all, barbecue water, and second of all, when were you in Texas?
Well, Texas is in like a while ago. I mean, I was in Texas a few years ago. But apparently, Dr. Pepper is the nickname is barbecue water because it's like barbecue sauce, but it's water. I don't know.
Never heard it.
The funny thing about Dr. Pepper. And I think I said this before, but the funny thing about Dr. Pepper is that it's like a cherry drink, and I really can't stand cherries. So I feel like
Nick in Texas, mind blown.
I feel like the deal is since this thing has 20 We're never gonna get through this night.
Probably not.
Mayonnaise. Oh, that was so funny earlier. We had a
inside joke.
We had a FaceTime with Luke earlier today, and it was a lot of fun. All right, so apparently I must like 22 of the 23 flavors of Dr. Pepper, and that must be why I like it. That's the only thing I can think of.
The last flavor is cherry. That's just not it, huh?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
You know what else is weird about Dr. Pepper is like I feel like as I've gotten older and as my taste buds have changed, that I taste Dr. Pepper differently every time I drink it.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of different tastes, so we scored us some gluten-free Oreos today. What? What?
Level up 2021 Oreos. Let's go.
Gluten-free Oreos. This kid went through a sleeve like no tomorrow. I thought I literally had to look at my watch like, is it Halloween? Like he just went through that sleeve like it was nothing.
So I have a gluten intolerance. That's why. So I haven't had an Oreo in probably since I was 4 years old.
They're great. I'm not even kidding, bro. They taste just like regular Oreos.
Bomb. Thank you to Oreos.
Not even kidding. Yeah, for making them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like thank you for looking out for the gluten-free peeps in your life.
This is also a public message to Goldfish to step your game up. People are watching.
Ooh. Yo.
We got gluten-free mac and cheese.
Potential sponsor in the future.
If you know anybody that works for Golden Fish, what is it? Goldfish. If you know anybody who works for Goldfish, let them know.
Is it Pepperidge Farms?
Step up your gluten-free game or get out of the game. All right, just get out of it.
Make it through tonight.
Get out of the game. If you're not rocking the gluten,
bigger.
We ain't tooting or something. I don't know. I'm two-fisted Willie tonight, man. This is the kind of night it's going to be with us. Yeah. All right, we ready to get started?
Yes.
All right, so the topic of tonight's chat is Clubhouse. By a show of hands, if you're on Clubhouse, please raise your hand.
I love Clubhouse, kind of.
Okay. Did you know Oreos is a vegan food?
I did know that.
That's crazy, isn't it? He knew that. Now I know that. All right.
I didn't know that.
Two-fist and DP. That sounds like a crazy party. You know it is. All right. So Clubhouse, the latest phenomenon, the latest social craze. Media. Is it social media? Is
social audio.
Yeah, I think so.
I've heard that before.
Well, we have been, I don't know any other way to say it. We've been going ape shit on that thing, really.
You're killing the algorithm, bro. It's killing us.
The algorithm doesn't like me, so I don't like it. Is that okay? Can we just go with that tonight?
That's totally fair.
So we've been having some fun on Clubhouse, and in all seriousness, Clubhouse is definitely something that if you're not on it, you should definitely check it out. And excuse me, our guest tonight, Melanie, is a rock star on Clubhouse. Can we reset the floor? Yeah, let's reset the floor.
Let's go ahead and reset this room.
Oh, funny. Our guest tonight, Melanie, is a rock star on there with us, and it's funny, like. We've met some really, really great people just being on Clubhouse. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Melanie before we bring her on. And Melanie's lifelong passion is photography and photojournalism. She loves the camera's immediate and spontaneous capacity to capture the intimacy and varied emotions of her subjects. After acquiring a BFA and a MFA, if you're not sure, look those up, in photography, she taught at Montana State University. In addition to introducing an art photography to school-age children. Name one of America's top 15, listen people, America's top 15 wedding photographers by PDN. Her work has been featured in New York Times, Forbes Magazine, Martha Stewart Weddings, The Knot, Rangefinder, that's an interesting name, Big Sky Journal, and many other publications. Although her special focus is event photography, she is equally accomplished in documentary and portraiture. Thank you for that.
Gotcha.
Melanie has been a speaker at Photo Plus, WPPI, and has been interviewed by Brides, PDN, Rangefinder, there they are again, and in several books. When not on assignment herself, she enjoys spending time with her children and her friends. That is my really, 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 really crappy bio reading of Melanie's. Without further ado, please help us welcome our guest tonight, Paula, first time tuning in live.
Hey, bro.
Hey, and that,
I'm saying brother, I don't know.
You see how that cut me off from bringing Melanie in? And I love that this happened. Okay, so if your name happens to say Facebook user like this, here's what we'd like for you to do to fix that. Simply go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give them permission to
so we know who it is,
to show your face and show your name, so we know who you are, so that we don't call you Facebook user
or brother.
Especially or brother in case you're a female. Lord knows we wouldn't want to call you brother if you're a female. So there's that.
So,
and now without a father and a dude, let's welcome Melanie. Hey, Melanie, how are you?
Thanks for being on the show. Good. How y'all doing?
As you can tell, it's going to be one of those nights tonight.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
We are so happy to have you.
Thank you. It's so much fun.
Your bio is phenomenal. Can I just? Yeah, I mean.
Oh, so it is a dude. So at least we're lucky in a sense it is a dude. It's Javier, and he'll be sure to do that.
Appreciate you.
So you had like osmosis.
I got lucky.
Yes, you are.
I felt a force.
A premonition.
You pontificated your. What was that word I missed earlier?
Portraiture.
Your portraiture. God have mercy. One too many Dr. Peppers, and I can't get that out of my mouth.
Anyway,
that's what she said. All right, here we go.
Turn the bus around.
Oh, this is what. This is what. Maybe you know what. We might be onto something. Maybe we should continue to start getting up at 6 a.m. on the days that we're doing our shows, so that we're in these moods.
Yeah.
So that we're in these crazy moods.
But in all seriousness, Melanie, honestly, from the bio, maybe we can just talk a little bit about your career. And I mean, you've got some incredible things on there, featured in all those magazines. And I mean, tell me, where'd you start?
Well, first of all, when David introduced me as a rock star, like, I just want to be known as a rock star.
Kinda. I mean, that's the truth,
right?
Clearly,
you're like scrap the rest of the bio, just rock star Melanie, and move forward.
And it's just rock star. Thank you for having me. Like, I'm super excited. And so, what was it? 20 years ago, I had submitted my first wedding to be published, and I submitted it to Martha Stewart Weddings. And I was living in Montana, and they were looking for a wedding in Montana. And I shot this quintessential wedding, and they published it in 6 pages. And so then I traveled to New York and started knocking on everybody's doors. Brides Magazine, Modern Bride, all these magazines. And they were all like, oh, of course, since you've been published there. So that's kind of how it all started. And it kind of just like snowballed. It's kind of like the Clubhouse now. Because like then it was like I had to make prints. I had to make a folio and send it in. And now we have Clubhouse instead.
More like a boots on the ground kind of thing back then.
Exactly. And like I had to
You young bucks don't know about that stuff.
Knocking on doors and whatnot.
Yeah, knocking on doors and sending faxes out, and
now I just send a DM.
Right. now you just slide into people's DMs.
Those DMs have got me far, man.
They have got you far.
Like the new. I just love, and you know what I do now? I think David, I've sent you a bunch of voice messages. People love
absolutely
voice messages, like.
No, I think that's definitely the 2021 move. Like, if you're not sending like voice messages, you should be doing it. Like, it's a power move.
I saw you guys sending them today. I was sitting next to David doing some work, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's actually really cool." Like,
you heard those?
I did hear those.
Oh, sorry.
But honestly, it's so much more efficient than like having to sit here doing this. I mean,
well, the cool thing is you don't have to go back and autocorrect, which I love.
Yeah.
Right, but the bad thing, and I think Instagram now has a feature where if you like record something and you're like, oh my gosh, I sound like an idiot, there's a garbage can you can press before it flies out.
Yeah.
But before it didn't have that. So, and people love it. They feel like, I can't tell you, I would say 8 out of 10 people that I send it to, they're like, oh my gosh, give us a sample of a message, David.
Ern is killing me. Ern, you are killing me tonight. Oh, Poddex, I can't wait till we get to it tonight. I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's like a squirrel in here today. I'm going to do my best not to let it distract me. But...
That's the way my life is every day, so I'm good.
So, here we go.
Oh, it's going to be like
Yeah, it's probably not going to be PG-13.
It's going to get us kicked off of YouTube.
I'm just preparing everybody for what could happen later on in this show. All right, so before we move forward really quickly, in all seriousness, we appreciate you guys supporting and commenting. We want you to keep doing that. So keep dropping your comments in the chat there. Let us know if you haven't checked in yet with us. Be sure to let us know you're on and who you are, so we can give you a shout out. If you're into like sharing the fact that this show is on right now, because we are live, by the way, like this is happening live right now. So if you're into sharing that out to your friends and family and people that just want to laugh at me tonight, probably because I'm going to be stupid,
Same.
then please invite them to do that. And if you're not following us in social media world, you can do that. Those names and links and everything are on here somewhere. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, most importantly, please do that, because in all seriousness, as much as we do like to have fun, we also like to help business owners in the wedding and event industry, and that's what this show is really all about. We do have fun, but at the end of the day, it's about community, and it's about education, and it's about helping people.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're here to do, and that's why we want to share the message of this channel. So we hope that you will help us spread that message if something we say resonates with you.
Seriously. So appreciate everyone being on too.
Yeah, no doubt. So Melanie, do you remember when you joined Clubhouse?
Oh, I think it was January 6th.
Wow.
Kind of late.
Frank, what about you?
Oh, it was right around that same time. It was like January something.
Was it? I'm trying to look at mine. Oh shit! I beat both y'all. December 20. No, it's not a competition.
I want to look what mine was.
It's not a competition, but no, that's cool. Like, I mean, it's amazing how quickly it has really grown. Crazy. You know what I mean? Crazy. Bigger and said December 28th. Yeah, and that'd be an interesting question. If you're watching, I'm curious, when did you guys join?
If you're on,
when did you guys join Clubhouse? Just curious about that. And
what's
okay,
your
so
birthday?
Luke, thank you for that.
Thanks,
Follow-up question, Melanie, is what kind of made you want to get on Clubhouse in the first place?
Well, honestly, I didn't even know about it. And I was working with a woman who's helping me with my Instagram, and she invited me. And then I started reading about it, and I went, oh my gosh, this is such a great platform. Like, I love like meeting people, and I have a lot of friends here, but I haven't been able to meet new people. And like this filled that void. And like now, I'm able to have these crazy discussions with people, and then I got to meet you, and then I'm here. And so like, this is kind of what I love about it, and sharing like my passion for it. And
that's fantastic.
In weddings. And
I think ultimately that's what Clubhouse is all about, is community. It's almost like, I've talked to David about it. It's like virtual networking. Like it's a way to meet people that honestly you would have never been able to connect with. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. You're in Montana right now. How would we have ever, it's amazing that we're able to connect and share like our stories and information with each other. It's so cool.
Well, it's insane. I met a wedding planner, and she does extraordinary work. She's in Portugal. So on Saturday, I called her. We were on the phone for 2 hours.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like she's one of my close friends now. We talk about all kinds of crazy things. And yeah, so that's what this is it's opening up the world to us, which is super exciting.
I'll tell you what it kind of reminds me of. And so a lot of times I'll tell people, early on in my career, I used to go to all the different trade shows and conferences and things like that. Some of them I was a speaker at, and some of them I was there to attend. And I would just go to these things all the time. And people would ask me like, man, why do you always go to these things? And I'm like, because it's broadening my horizons of what's going on in this industry beyond just my own, just my own backyard, so to speak. And I'm meeting people that we're having open conversations because they don't look at me as competition. And so we can have open conversations about what's going on and what's working for them. And, I'm not a big believer in this, that'll never work in my market. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, kind of a thing. But it was just cool to get a different perspective of other people. And so to me, that's what I look at Clubhouse like. It's almost like going to a mini version of those little conferences every single time, because there's some familiar faces, but if I think back to those days, like there would always be a group of people that I would see that I had seen in the past, but then there'd be a whole nother group of people that I would meet at that particular conference that would just be added to the whole big group of people. You know what I mean? And so Clubhouse is so much like that in a virtual setting that if people don't see the power of that, they're just missing out on it.
Well, and it's interesting because it's so much more time efficient too, right? Like, so you don't have to get dressed.
Yeah.
You can be in your pajamas.
Be in bed.
Very good point.
Exactly.
Gabriel, yes, every single day, especially the ones that end in Y. Absolutely, yes. Happy to help. And then another Facebook user friend here. I need to join some DJ groups on Clubhouse. If you have any suggestions, drop them. All right, so we're gonna definitely get to that in the suggestions because, in all honesty, Melanie put together a really, really cool outline here of some things that we want to talk about, and so I don't want to deviate from that too far to make sure we don't miss anything from the conversations that we had kind of going into this. And then Big Earn says most popular answer about Clubhouse preparedness. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's talk a little bit. So let's just talk a little bit from the beginning, because there may be some people watching potentially that are like, what the hell is this Clubhouse you guys are even talking about?
Are we resetting the room?
We're resetting the room.
Oh, okay.
Let's reset the room.
We are resetting the room.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, Melanie, tell us what Clubhouse is.
So I came up with this analogy all by myself today, which I was really excited about. So, because it doesn't happen that often. And I swear I didn't read it. So to me, Clubhouse is like this virtual giant house party. And it's going on 24 hours a day. And there are people coming to the party all day long and from all over the world. So like there's some people I know and there are a lot of people I don't know. And then so when you walk into the house, this is my space.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't leave it long enough.
So when you walk into the house, you walk into the hallway and you keep like there are these rooms right beside going off on the hallway, and there people in the hallway and they're saying, hey, I'm speaking in this room. Are you interested in coming in? So like, I love learning about Bitcoins and like music and things like that. And then you can choose which room you want to go in. And then you can go into a room and you can go, oh, this is kind of boring, or this isn't my gig really. And then you can walk out and nobody cares because it's a virtual room and nobody's really paying that much attention to you. And then you can go to another room. And then you can also create your own rooms and you can schedule them in advance. And is that enough?
If I closed my eyes and listened to what you were saying, I would have thought you were describing the movie Eyes Wide Shut. But it still does make sense. No, I'm just saying, but it still does make sense what you're saying, though. It really does.
Well, I thought that was like a good way of like making it real, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
People have such a hard time wrapping their head around what it is. So,
well, as you were talking about, I was literally visualizing what you were saying, and I was like, that makes so much sense to someone. It's like crazy. It's like absolutely accurate. Like it's a party that's happening like literally all the time. People are constantly coming and going, and then you meet up in the hallways and you get dragged into a room. And I get pings from this guy all the time. Yo, get in this room. Like, let's come talk. And it's awesome. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And like you can go into a room with Elon Musk, and I'm so pissed that I missed that room. I was like, Melanie, get on your game here.
Yeah.
Well, I think
you gotta hit the bell for Elon Musk so that way you get alerted when he goes into the room. Come on, Melanie.
Text me and say, Melanie.
Talk about rockets and stuff. I don't know.
Make sure it's like Elon Musk official too, because there's like a lot of troll like
I'm Elon Musk
so-called celebrity people that go on there too as well. And then like Big Earn said, it's like a live interactive podcast like that. I know that I've definitely used that to describe it as well. I mean, it's actually it's kind of like what we're doing right now. Like we're holding this conversation amongst the four of us,
right.
But we have people that are quote unquote in the audience that still can communicate with us, and they can ask questions, and they can, and we can dive into it.
And truthfully, if they wanted to come up here and talk, we could bring them into the room and have them literally bring them up on here to stage and talk.
Oh, Chris Dix, shame on you. Shame on you. Hopefully he's going to be okay. I hope he wasn't. I hope he was terrible. I hope he wasn't. That would be terrible.
That would be bad.
All right. So let's talk about one of the things about Clubhouse that maybe some people do think sucks, which is if you don't have an iOS device, you can't get on it yet.
Well, that's fair.
Melanie is a complete savage.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
get an air horn. Do we have an air horn feature on?
I know. I'm like, great. Now half of our viewership that all are on Androids right now just left us. Yeah. So it should be used. They should be using or they should make it available on Android pretty soon. I think it's pretty soon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
I think it's coming. Who knows? But until then, just find a friend who has an iPhone or an iPad and just hang out with them all the time.
Exactly. Perhaps maybe something else we can talk about in terms of, not to get too far off on a tangent, is perhaps maybe like time spent on Clubhouse. Like, one of the things that I see a lot is people on Clubhouse, like pretty much from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed. And like, I mean, if you have nothing going on right now, I think that can be really helpful to keep you sane. I know that in the beginning of COVID for myself, I could have absolutely used Clubhouse as a resource, to be for myself, because I was going crazy. But is there a point where it becomes too much? Just throwing it out there.
I've had a lot of friends say that they have turned it off because they got so addicted, right? Like, and now, like,
that's what I'm saying.
And when we talk a little bit more about how we use it, I've been really like thoughtful about how I use it. And now I'm like, okay, I have made so many contacts. I have to like stop and follow up with all of those, or I'm not going to follow up. And then, and I also do it just for self, interesting things that I find, but it's kind of like that's what I was going to say. The analogy is like a TED Talks, but you can go up on stage with the speaker.
Yeah. And to your point, like it's kind of like when people buy like all these different courses and different things that they want to learn from, and they buy so many of them, and then they just never do any of them because they're overwhelmed with them and so many things. And so, you bring up a good point. Like, first of all, you have to be intentional about why you're there. I think that makes sense. And
yes,
if you're intentional about why you're there, that means that you probably do have to take some time to move away from it and nurture and be sure to take care of those contacts that you've made. Otherwise, they're just going to disappear or like they never existed in the first place.
I think Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say intentionality is very important. Like David said, I think it's really important to understand why you're going on there and to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Like I would want to be on there to have like a conversation like this. I think that's really, really awesome. I think a lot of people also see it as an opportunity to try to become like quote unquote famous and like get into rooms, and we'll just go up on stage and kind of say anything and we'll just go randomly follow people to try to like gain, I guess, clout. But I mean, like, I don't know how far that's getting you, but I would me personally, I want real intimate, like connections with real people where I can come offline. Like you said, Melanie, like, and hey, let's have a real conversation. Let's talk and let's like really become friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And go ahead. I'm sorry, Frank.
No, you first. Go ahead.
I just think that that's one of the things that's really interesting, because like as soon as I enter a room, I can like kind of read the room and go, oh, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
And because it's like, I'm not going to name names, but like investors that are like, I'm going to make you $1 million.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I don't want that. Like, I want like significant conversations to happen.
Yeah, and I think the couple of cool things about Clubhouse is like you have to be really like, it's like your honesty and your sincerity will like shine through because you can't just put on a smile despite what you're saying, because nobody can see that. So if it's not like coming through your voice, if you're not honest with it, people will catch on to that and then they won't appreciate what you're saying at all.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah, so that's definitely that's one big thing for me about Clubhouse. And then I think the other thing that's really funny is how you said people said you were like, or they had gotten addicted and they needed to separate. It's like in a time where the complaint about social media was staring at a screen, reading every comment and post. And now we have a way to like connect directly. And people are saying, no, that's too much. It's like, I want conversation. I've been stuck in my house more than I have in my whole life over the last year. I want some interaction with people. And this gets me around other professionals that are like-minded, that help me to get better at what I'm doing.
That's where I really think Clubhouse is like an absolute like godsend, is that you have people that are stuck at home who are in quarantine, who can't be social, and you have a platform where you can go talk to people and really help you. I think that's absolutely phenomenal for sure.
And it's the first app that's not visually based, so it's just audio based.
Nice,
so you don't have to look at your screen, so you could wash the dishes, you can vacuum, you can do whatever the heck you want, but you're not engaging visually, which, I'm a visual person and I love that, but I also love that it's not, because there's authenticity in your voice that really either makes it or breaks it in my mind.
Well, and it's almost kind of like right now, again, it's a live happening on the spot situation. So you either have to have something to talk about, or you just got to keep your mouth shut, because, imagine just sitting there in dead air for minutes and minutes and minutes. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, it'd be crazy. So Big Earn brings up a good point here. I have 7 more invites if people need one. That's one of those things too, where it's an invite only. It's an invite only, right? Yeah. For now.
I read on the New York Times, they had a article, I think yesterday or today. And I had heard that people were selling them on eBay, but they said, and I heard like $30 to $100, but I had heard in the article in the New York Times, they said 20 grand. And I was like, who's going to pay $20,000? But I'm going to say this, if you're just giving away your invites, you need to be really careful who you give them away to, because if that person gets thrown off of Clubhouse, you can get thrown off of Clubhouse.
Ooh, didn't know that.
Yes. So you need to vet your people before you just give them away.
I don't have any more invites left. I changed my mind.
Yeah. All right. Yep. I got back. I meant 0.
I do not have any invites.
That was a high five to Earn for having 7.
Oh, wow. Earn said 3 months ago they were going for $1,000.
That's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
Well, and I've given some to friends, and like I'll ask them, hey, do you want to join? And they're like, yeah. And then I send them to them and they don't use them. And I'm like, don't do that. Because I will happily give them to you, but really use them.
Like, I don't know how many people have ever been exposed to like the network marketing industry, and I'm not going to talk about it for very long, but it's almost kind of like that, where you almost feel like you want to sit down with them and take your phone out. Here's how we're going to do it. Here's how we're going to make sure that you are good to go. And otherwise, if we can't do that, then get back with me when you can.
And then, by the way, do you have 3 friends who know 3 friends who also know 3 more friends?
Now?
That is too funny. That is too funny. This is a bottom of the barrel opportunity. I'm getting you in. Never mind. Let's get off of that.
So, Melanie, maybe a question for you that I would have. So you said you talked about reading the room and stuff like that. So how do you know, how much time are you spending in a room where you can say like, all right, this is going to be for me, or you're going to say, I need to get out of here. I'm not really like feeling this. Like what's your read?
Sometimes it's in like 20 seconds. And you know what I mean? Like I can just, because I don't, like you guys are real, right? Yeah. I don't like those super showy people that are like, and so it's like 5 minutes and I'm like, okay, we're not like, because I read the titles. I don't read a lot. I mean, I know how to read, evidently, because I got degrees.
kind of important.
But I skim and I look at the title and I'm like, you guys aren't even talking about this title, and I'm leaving. You know what I mean? So it's anywhere between like 20 seconds and like 2 or 3 minutes. And then sometimes you're in a room and then you have to go. And so that's my thing. I don't know about you guys. How long does it take you all to read the room?
I think David's a very perceptive human being. So I think he's probably pretty good at that as well. She definitely picks up on vibes, guaranteed. So yeah, I would say for me, it's a little bit more difficult. Like I get roped into some, like I know Ern just brought up like one of the investor, whatever he said, 6 or 7 figure entrepreneur rooms. Like I've definitely gotten sucked into a few of those because I'm just like naive, I guess. But
well, I mean, it's challenging because sometimes, and I mean, I'm just going to play devil's advocate here, because there's been some rooms that I've started where, I've started rooms where it was about a certain conversation, and then it felt like everybody in the room kind of needed to go in a different direction. You know what I mean? And so sometimes that does happen. But I've also been in rooms, Melanie, like you said, where, this is absolutely nothing to do with the title of the room. Like this is completely off base, completely.
And I get it. Like conversations meander, like our conversation is meandering, but like usually it just like has to stay relatively on topic. Cause like, I don't like it when people are just like chatting and like with each other as friends. Like, cause I'm like, hey, if I want to chat with you, I'll call you.
Right. For sure.
Like, I do like being intimate with people. Like, I don't want that to sound like I'm not interested in personal conversations, but it's like information driven. I think that's what.
It goes back to that. It goes back to that intent conversation that we were talking about, where the depending on your intent for being there and the reason why you want to be there, and if you're there to learn and to also offer constructive content to the conversation, then you want to be sure that you're in a room that there's even the possibility to do that. Like if there was a room on underwater basket weaving, I couldn't even offer anything to do with that. You know what I mean? So like I wouldn't last very long in that room, you know?
Neither would I.
So all right, so let's talk about let's talk a little bit about kind of your networking strategies on there. So once you've decided to jump on there and once you've decided, okay, you know,
I found the room, I'm ready to go.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to step back just like a little spot. Like, so if you get on to Clubhouse, right? Like what you have to do is you have to create your bio. And my bio was pretty crappy until like 2 nights ago. And I sat in this room and these people worked with like probably 20 of us I was in there for 2.5 hours. And they really helped me. Like I have before and after pictures of my bio. So anyways, you have your bio. So the 3 things that represent you on Clubhouse are your bio and your photograph and then your voice. Right. In your bio, you have those 3 first lines. And it is so important to be very conscious of what you write on those 3 lines, because 1, people only see those, but 2, you also can get searched by those lines, which I didn't know.
I did not know that. No.
So you have to be, so now like if you search top wedding photographer, I'm second. But if you just search wedding photographer, I'm not anywhere near the top of the list. So anyways, so that's what, so creating your bio is really important. And then having a call to action on your bio. Like at the bottom, I have like a little thumb and it says, DM me, share your passions with me. And then also to like, share some of your accolades and also to do your ask of like what you want to gain out of Clubhouse in that. So I don't know if you guys have ever done any of that or what your thoughts are with all of that.
Well, my bio definitely needs help because my bio is currently 1 word. So that needs some help.
What's the word?
Videographer, period.
Well, ironically, you say that. I actually, just because I think I was delirious, jumped in this room one time where it was like, is cleaning out your bio and having a completely empty bio the new flex, like the new move,
right?
Like nothing in there whatsoever, leaving everything ambiguous.
I don't. Maybe if you're like seriously Clubhouse famous, maybe, but I have 69 followers, so I'm gonna say I probably need to like step my bio game up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do notes on what I learned from it, and I'll find that room and I'll include the people that host that room because it was really
yeah.
So Ern said, David, I gave a walkthrough for people on how to curate bios.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Big Ern.
Yeah. I don't know if he's asking me to do that or if he's saying he did it. I'm a little bit confused, but
I think he said he did it.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah. But let's talk about that a little bit, Melanie. Like, what are some of your high level points on? And then maybe Frank, of course, you're a friggin' rock star on there too. So feel free to add some content to that as well, as far as just some of the things that you should really make sure about your bio.
So, I love learning new things. So, sorry, I printed them out so I would know what to do. So, the first 3 lines, and then they were like, okay, you have these categories. And I had listed all the magazines that I was published in, which was 20. And the girl, she was great. She's like, you're flexing too much here, Melanie. You only get 7 things. So I have hearts on mine because, I love hearts. And anyway, so you only have 7 under each category. So my first one was as seen in, and then looking to work with is my next one. And then, it's called do you all guys know about unicoding? Is that what it's called? Where you can
I've heard about it.
Yeah.
I'm unfamiliar.
So you can go onto a website and look up Unicode, and then you can type in words, and then it will it can bold them or it can use.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then after this was all done, I realized people were doing their bios not on Clubhouse, but on a word processing app, and then
copying and pasting it. Yep.
Yeah. So then I went into passions, and then Clubhouse rooms that I've hosted, and then just like etc. things, and then my call to action about DMing me.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I think the bolding fonts are different fonts. I think it's actually really engaging because I actually just followed you on Clubhouse and I saw that. I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And then I kind of put two and two together. I was like, oh, wow, that's really neat. So yeah, definitely something to stand out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and not a lot of people are doing that. Also, I know you were talking about the 3 lines being searchable. Emojis are searchable as well.
Yes.
So utilize some of those to make things easier. Like, right, I'm a DJ. I have a microphone. You know, I know
you use, right? And which microphone you use is important.
I use the big old school one. Exactly. Yeah, the big like old school one. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know that the emojis are searchable. That's a huge thing, especially for a photographer. You have a camera.
Yeah.
Boom. If I want to search, photographers, some people just hit that emoji. You'll pop up. You know,
these are high level knowledge drops, guys.
No,
absolutely. For real. I mean, honestly, like I didn't know any of this. I've been like living under a rock. Come on, millennial, what are you doing?
Well, you should pay more attention to me, man. I'm trying to show you the ways, old young one, old Padawan.
I also learned this other thing. So, like, if you go out, onto the magnifying glass, right? And then you choose, like when you first come onto Clubhouse, you can go onto the magnifying glass and then you can choose the topics that you're interested in. And beside each one has those emojis that Frank was talking about. And those are the ones that you want to put in your bio so you can help be searchable. But I didn't know, I thought that by doing that, I would be fed rooms on those topics, but that's not true because you get fed rooms by the people you follow. So
right.
like you're following, I didn't know this.
Well, that was one of the big things that I found out right away. Like I was kind of going a little follow crazy. And then I started seeing like all these different rooms and I'm like, and they were the crazy ones that we were kind of talking about. Like, like, here, come, let me show you how to make $50 the easy way. And, just weird shit like that where you're like, I don't think I want to go into that room.
Do you know 3 friends?
Yeah. Do you have 3 friends who have 3 friends who have 3 friends? But so I started deleting all of those people and I literally curated my people that I'm following to only be people in the wedding and event industry, which I know there's somebody out there that's going to tell me, oh, you shouldn't do that because you're missing out. But I'm not missing out on anything because those are the people that I want to connect with. So that's why, to me, it makes sense to do that.
That's awesome.
And if you want to learn about like investing, you can go and search it and see what comes up, right? So it's not like you're just going to see those. If you want to see something else, you can.
Big Earn dropping the fire too. Big Earn is on there all the time. He's a rock star on there as well.
Star. Yeah.
Did you say all that, Melanie? I'm sorry, I deleted it.
No, I'm a slow reader. Like
that's okay. No, I mean, Earn was basically just saying it when you go onto your profile. If you click the cogwheel, it'll allow you to curate a little bit better, niche down. Like in your interest section, you can niche down more to what you want your rooms to look like and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good to know. So,
all right, so let's kind of maybe move into some do's and don'ts of, and this is an open conversation between all of us. Yep. And of course, if you're in the audience and you guys want to offer any of your comments, any of your do's or don'ts, feel free to do that. But once you get into a room, Frank, I'm going to go to you first. Once you get into the room, what would be the first thing that you would advise somebody to do once they jump in a room?
Well, I mean, I don't think nobody should raise their hand just to raise their hand to jump up to the floor, right? You're being intentional with who you're following. You're being intentional in the room you went into. Be intentional for when you're going to raise your hand and hop up on the floor to say something or to ask a question. So don't just jump up and say, hey, my name is Frank and I was really excited to join this room and just wanted to come up here and say hi. Like, don't do that. Make sure you add something.
And the reason why Frank is saying that is because a lot of people that are Clubhouse experts will tell you that one of the best things you can do is jump up on stage, raise your hand, jump up on the stage and blah, 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 blah. And everybody in the room is going to follow you. First of all, it's not 100% true. And second of all, like Frank said, and I think Melanie said, and even Nick said earlier, people will see, they will either see the authenticity in you or they will not, based on what happens when you open up your microphone. Yep. So be sure that when you open up your microphone that you have the authentic you coming out, or people will know.
That's a really great point. And I think another point is, like, again, with social media, like, it's meant to be used like socially, like it's meant to be like a way that we connect with each other. It's not meant to be this thing where we're like, I'm just going to follow as many people as I can and try to, like, you know, hack this thing. It's like, it's meant to be used like to connect with people, real genuine connections. And I feel like social media in general has gotten corrupted when people try to like manipulate that in a way that it was never meant to be used in the first place.
Yeah.
So great point, Frank, for sure.
Absolutely. All right, Melanie, what about you? What's your top maybe do and don't on being in a clubhouse room?
So top do is just come in and sit and listen for a little bit and really hear what's going on, right? And then, you know, and like if I have a friend who's up on, you know, on stage, then I'll often jump up there. And, you know, if you just be thoughtful with your questions, right? Or, you know, if you want to pat somebody on the back because they're doing a great job, follow them on Clubhouse, then go down. So when you make your bio, I forgot to say, you need to link your Instagram, go onto their Instagram and then DM them. Like I can't tell you how many times I've gone in to people's DMs and just left them a voice message saying, oh my gosh, that was beautiful. And like, thank you so much for sharing. So you can do that privately still to support people. And then the don'ts, don't be a hater.
Yeah. That's probably the biggest one.
And I don't like, you know, I can't do that on that.
Don't troll people.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Look, you guys almost said it at the exact same time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's interesting how, you know, what's interesting to me about Clubhouse is how many people have all of a sudden come out of the woodworks that are educators now.
Yeah.
And I think that, I think it's important to understand that, and I talk about this all the time, and so I'm being a little redundant here, but there's a reason for it. I always talk about how there is a place of where you are, and there are people that are where you used to be that want to be where you are, and there are people out there that want to be, that you want to be where they are. Okay, so this is the interesting yin and yang of, if you're serious about business, you understand that there are people that you can help. And then there are also people that you can aspire to learn from. And if you have that synergistic kind of approach to it, then it just works out so much better. Yeah. And a lot of times what I've started to hear people saying a lot is phrases like, in my experience, this is what I've learned. Through me doing what I've done, this is what I've learned, instead of you need to do this, you need to do that, blah, 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 blah. It's just so much more well received. I'm going to go through some of these comments real quick. So DJ Jess, hey, shout out, by the way, what's going on? A do that I do. Don't make me read this too fast now. A do that I do is following Clubhouse user I feel connected to, is following their Instagram and DMing them. Now, I think, and Melanie, you mentioned that as well. I think it's a great, cool thing to do. And one of the things that have been really, in my experience, that has happened is that I've actually like DM people like while we're in the room together. Like if they said something and I'll be like, hey, don't want to bug you, but real quickly, just want to let you know that was really fire what you said, you know, in the Clubhouse room right now. I'm in there with you. Love to connect sometime and talk a little more about it. Jess said I messed that up. She said, no, listen. Okay, so let's see if I can make sense of this. A do that I do is following Clubhouse users I
feel connected to.
Basically
feel connected to. Is following their Instagram and okay, I'm so confused. All right, so we'll get it figured out.
And then, I wanted to say about following people, and so I'm usually not so organized. I actually am quite organized, but anyways, I started a spreadsheet of all of the people that I've been DMing that I want to connect to.
You're organized.
And like I put the date down that I met them, and then their Instagram name, because like sometimes their real name isn't their Instagram name. You can't find them. And then that way I know, okay, I'm going to go and tell David, hey, I really would love to do that room with you, and make sure I follow up. So just a helpful hint. And then I also have a notebook, like a Clubhouse notebook.
All right, so
you're smart.
I was kind of being goofy, but I want to be fair to Jess. So this is what she was saying. Exactly what Melanie said. Follow their Instagram and DM them with authentic gratitude.
Yeah. You have to be authentic,
yes.
And you have to be genuine. Like, you can't be doing this to try to become famous. Like, I feel like it's an easy trap to fall into, but you're on there for genuine connection. I think that would be my number one thing as well, is just be genuine and seek to serve others, in any way you can help.
Right.
And listen first. Always listen first. Always.
And Jess, I do the same thing, only talking. I talk too fast sometimes too, so I totally get it.
All good.
I do both. And I would also say, like, there have been a lot of rooms that I've been in, and people are struggling, and I'm, I have a really happy disposition, and I just like try and reach out and, empathize with them in the room and then after, and be like, hey, if you ever want to talk, or if you ever
need anything,
just because we're very isolated, right?
Yes.
Like, by nature, our industry is isolated, except for parties, and now it's exponentially isolated.
I'll tell you what's a real hot button right now, and you can attest to this. We had a whole conversation. We had a whole conversation in a Florida only room today about how we're kind of in this weird bubble of the Wild West of being able to do events, and a lot of people really, I mean, there's been in some rooms that I've gone into where they're talking about COVID, and I mean, people are like shaming us for working, and I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. First of all, I'm being as responsible as I can possibly be, number one. Number two, this is my full-time job and my career, and has been for 20 years. Like, I'm not going to give that up. You know what I'm saying? When I'm allowed to work and I'm doing it in a safe environment, I do everything that I possibly could do to help make sure that the event is safe. But at the end of the day, I can't control what these human beings do. I can only offer them the best suggestion possible, and I can protect myself and my staff. And that's what I have to be able to do. And at the end of the day, we still got to make money, Yeah,
and you have to work within the guidelines. I was talking to an event planner in New York City today.
Thank you.
They're opening up. And, so he's like, okay, we've been allowed to do some parties, 20, 50 people. And now, what is it going to look like when there's 150? And what are the guidelines, and him as a planner, like, he has to make sure all of, the people, the vendors that are working have to be as safe as they possibly can. And at some point we have to get back to working, and you just have to be safe and responsible.
Well, one of the things that came up in the room today, which I thought was pretty interesting, I believe it was Bob Conti, who is an amazing event planner, by the way. I think Bob was saying that, or maybe it wasn't Bob. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whoever it was what's that?
Did he flee to Florida? Because he's in Jersey and New York.
No, I know. I think he was just jumping in there to talk to us. We had a few people in there that were non-Floridians. Ern was even in there supporting us today. So, and it's not like we boot people out if they're not
from Florida,
if they're not Floridians.
Imposter.
But unless they're Luke Renchen, and then we might kick him out. But
he deserves it anyway.
Right. But one of them said, one of the cool I really wish I could remember who this was. And this is another point. Like, I think people have started to learn how to record Clubhouse rooms, but for the most part, in the beginning, like, you couldn't really do that. So if anybody has any tips on that, I'd love to hear about that. But in the beginning, like, you couldn't really do that. And so it's like, if you're not there live and you're not like taking notes and writing things down, you're having brain farts like I am. And maybe it's just because I'm old and I don't remember things as well as I used to. But point being, whoever it was that said that, instead of looking at what's going on in Florida as a negative way, why not look at it as the opportunity to work on setting an example of how other things are able to, or other areas are able to open up, and what people are doing in Florida. Sorry, I'm reading the comments from Luke. What people are doing in Florida that can be translated into other areas that haven't really opened up yet, and what we're able to do. Look at that as a positive light instead of throwing so much shade on us and so forth. So I think there was a lot of really good stuff that came out of that conversation.
And from a more meta thing, to your point, I know you mentioned it, about the DMs real quick, like going on Instagram and stuff. I think that's one feature that I hope Clubhouse figures out, is like how to like make a person like a direct messaging software platform in there, because it would be so nice really quick while you're in the room, just be like, oh man, that'd be awesome. That's a great point. I want to connect with them. So, all right, let me go down their Instagram. Hopefully I can find them. And then like that. Yeah. And then also maybe like a note feature as well, because like Melanie said, like she has a notebook or like those high level points that you want to take away. It's like, oh, what was the name of that book that was super, like he had a really great point. Oh, I want to remember that. Yeah.
I know, like Luke had mentioned that he said he saw that with a red button in a room with hip hop pioneers. I think it's like anything else, just like the big time hip hop DJs somehow are able to DJ on Instagram and all the other places that we're not allowed to, and it's okay. But I think maybe the same thing applies to this a little bit, in the sense that maybe there is a select few people that are allowed to, record their rooms. Mm-hmm. But I also have, like Luke mentioned, I have seen a couple times where it'll say this room is being recorded or something along those lines, like an indication to let people know that the room is being recorded. But I know there's got to be some security issues behind that too.
Is that against guidelines?
You would think so, yeah. I mean, it's against their guidelines.
Yeah, and like there was some, I didn't read it because, reading. But there was some issue where somebody was recording the rooms and then putting it up on a website.
Yeah.
Got in huge trouble. But I was going to say about the note taking. So what I'm going to try and do, maybe not in every room that I do, but in the rooms that I do, I'm going to try and my best to make like little Instagram stories with the highlights from those rooms. So that way,
great idea.
Right, and then you can actually give people something to keep. And I was supposed to do it for this, and then I screwed up. And my computer's so I'm not.
Yeah, Chris says, what's to stop you from using a secondary computer? I mean, quite honestly, that's probably the way people get away with it, is using a secondary device. Yeah. Like Jess said, tried to do a screen record and it told me you couldn't. Yep, yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. Secondary device. Do you know anything about that, Frank?
What is it?
Having like a secondary device, like essentially I could just set my phone right now to record us talking and it would like record everything.
Yeah. So my understanding is that this is something that's been talked about on the Sunday town hall meetings, like with the Clubhouse, like people. It's been a question that was asked, and I wasn't around for what the direct answer was, but I've heard that if you put record in the title and you constantly give the disclaimer before somebody chooses to talk, hey, please remember that this is being recorded. I haven't seen, because I follow a couple of people that are not big enough to be exempt from the rules, but definitely are doing it on a regular basis, and they haven't gotten kicked yet. Like this podcast, the owner of Podcast Magazine, Steve Olsher, he's constantly recording his rooms, and he's still there every time.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're trying that out, right? Because it's still a beta format, right?
Right. Well, no, that's a beautiful point. I mean, the reality is this app is technically still in beta. It's still in beta format, and that's why it's invite only and so on and so forth. I think the best advice and the most safe advice that we could give you is just don't try to record it. That's probably the best advice until Clubhouse comes out and says something otherwise. Like, I think that's best practices. And I mean, we're all about being ethical anyways. And so ethically, if they say don't do it, then just don't do it. Just start writing faster and take faster notes, or follow the rooms that Melanie follows and watch her Instagram stories.
Or you can DM them afterwards, right? And say, hey, I didn't get the title of that book, which I did buy somebody, somebody said, oh, read this book. And so I bought it. And I'm like, oh, it's another bookend.
Ron said he's on Clubhouse. Thanks, Ron. Up, man? That's what I'm talking about. Join us for the Clubhouse after party we'll be doing tonight after the show.
There's actually a Facebook group called the Clubhouse Community for Wedding Vendors.
Yes.
And it's run by it's admin by a guy named Nate Dale. Yep. And he actually posts notes of every room that he hosts. So when I asked him if I could go in and like advertise a couple of rooms that I was hosting, he said the only rule was that I had to take notes and give it to him. So, I mean, I took notes and I handed them over, and he posted it in this little, like, under the guides section.
Nate's
really cool.
Yeah, I think that's a good option to just do that.
Yeah. I mean, it was a little bit of work, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I only bullet pointed it. It wasn't like I was like a stenographer.
Frank the stenographer and baby.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Frank's fingers might not work fast. Never mind. Let me stop. Let me stop.
We're not a pod deck yet.
Let me stop. We haven't made it to pod decks yet.
Yeah, we're live now, David. Don't forget that.
All right. So, I think this is a great. I think this has been a great conversation. Frank remembers a lot. See, I didn't read it. I just showed it, but I didn't read it.
Does that kill the algorithm to show it?
I don't
think so.
I've never shown it on here, so I don't know.
Who knows?
Well, we just need Earn to drop it then from now on.
Yeah.
Melanie, you caught that, didn't you?
I did read it.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, I think it's been a great conversation, and we want to be respectful of everybody's time. If you guys have questions, if you guys have anything that you like to ask Melanie, Frank, Nick, myself, anything like that as it pertains to Clubhouse, if you're a hater of Clubhouse, that's fine. Just keep that to yourself. Like, no offense, but seriously. But if you have like legit questions and like you want help on something that you're maybe struggling with, or ideas or suggestions or recommendations, I mean, I think a lot of us have spent a whole lot of time. Like Ron said, it's a very business-oriented platform. It really is, for the most part. I mean, it's like anything else in life. I mean, you can go to any gathering of people, whether it's live or virtual or hybrid, and there are always going to be a few bad apple, disgruntled, I stubbed my toe, or my dog ate my keys, or some stupid shit like that happens in their life, and they're just not going to be in a good mood. But for the most part, like, everybody is there with a common goal of doing two things: learning and helping, in my opinion.
And community. I mean,
community. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's right. And like, it's not just business. Like,
no, it's not.
Like, there's some self-help. And like yesterday, I started a room about. It was just like I texted my friend Jeremy, and I was like, "Hey, you want to just do a room on love and joy? Bringing love and joy in." And she did, and there were only like 5 or 6 of us, but we talked for like an hour and a half, and like a couple of people just like needed it. And so it, there's also that touchy-feely side that you can get out of it too.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if Aura's being funny, but
I have warrants.
Shouldn't be on Clubhouse. That is what I mentioned to the sales team that try to sell me stuff on Clubhouse. Oh, I love Natural Aura. He's always dropping the funnies. All right. Well, I'm gonna just one more time just say, guys, if you have any questions, if you're in the audience and you're watching and you have any questions, in all seriousness, we're here to help. We are all active and proponents of the activity on the Clubhouse,
and also have fun with it too.
Yeah. Of course,
it's fun.
Of course. Yep.
All right.
I think that people can dive into security issues and all these other things all they want to, but listen, if you own one of these devices right here,
yeah, or on the grid,
or if you're owning a device that means you're actually seeing and hearing us talk right now,
you're on the grid, homie.
It's too late to worry about security issues.
Thank you very much for that comment. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Jess. We appreciate that.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This has been so much fun, and I'm really
honestly, this is the vision like David and I had for tonight. Is the vision that we have for the show? Is just having fun, having good conversations, spreading some love, spreading some knowledge, and having fun as a community. So that's literally what it's all about.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Oh, look at all these nice comments coming in from Melanie. Yes. Melanie, you have a beautiful energy about you.
Yes.
Seeking you out on Instagram. Please do. Yeah, she's amazing. And Big Earn said, Melanie, you're a gem.
So
he's never called us either one of those nice things. So.
I've gotten called Sid a few times.
Yeah,
but I mean, other than that,
he calls him Sid, and I don't know what he's called me before, but I'm sure it's been something.
Just playing.
Thank you, the audience, whoever's watching, like for spending time and participating.
We love Big Earn though.
He's a good dude. Yeah.
All right, let's jump on the pod decks. All right, so if you guys have never experienced pod decks, this is basically where we have an opportunity to just ask our guest, and Frank, you're going to be considered a guest tonight too. I instinctively clicked my app for Clubhouse by accident instead of pod decks.
Instinctual.
It is a little addiction.
Big Earn said you guys are sexy beasts. Love it.
Back at you.
I love it. All right, so this is where we kind of rapid fire back and forth. Me and Nick just kind of use pod decks, which, by the way, if you guys are not familiar with pod decks, we probably should say a little bit about them. Pod decks is an amazing company started by a gentleman named Travis Brown, and it is essentially you can get actual like card decks, or you can get the app that they have now, and they are just a variety of questions that are conversation starters. If you have your own podcast, or if you're trying to get into podcasting, you're like, I don't know what to ask people and I don't know how to keep a conversation going, they can help you with that.
Yeah.
Or if you're at a party with no chicks and booze, they can really help that be fun too.
I just read my mind, dude. I was literally just about to say it would be so great to have at a party. For real. Yeah. Like these would be such fun party questions.
What kind of questions are they?
Well, we're going to dive into that right now.
They're pretty ridiculous.
What deck are we using tonight?
I did the WTF deck.
I love it. Let's do that one. All right. Yes.
Oh,
Big Earn. Gloves are off tonight. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, whatever you want.
All right.
Bro.
So Melanie, you get to answer. Frank, you get to answer. Audience, you get to answer.
Yeah.
If we see some fun comments, we'll post those up.
throw up Ern's comment. Nick would be that guy.
Nick would be that guy. Absolutely. Chris Disc says, I gotta be careful. I really gotta be careful saying this. Chris Disc. Says, oh boy. Yes. I gotta be careful saying that. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm telling you right now.
You don't want to be banned.
Right, so you got the WTF. All right.
Yeah, you got to give the next Big Earn comment.
Nick would ask, want to see my deck?
Oh yes. Look, Earn's giving you all the gems, dude. Where's your Clubhouse notebook? You should be writing these gems down.
I need my club notebook.
You be writing these gems down.
All right, I got a question. I'm ready to rock.
All right, let's do it. We're doing the WTF deck?
Yes.
All right, here we go. You're up first.
All right, guys. And again, if you're in the comments, please play along with us. It's fun. Have you ever accidentally texted the wrong person, and how did it turn out?
You can go first,
Frank.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I have texted the wrong person things, and I just had to default to saying, sorry, that was intended for my wife.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, that's about the easiest way of putting it out there.
So
it did hurt. I mean, it was what it was at that point.
Were these word text? Were they photo text, or were they video text?
No, they were definitely word text.
Audio messages.
Okay. Yeah. No, if I would have been 20, it could have been bad news. You know?
My goodness.
So this is kind of silly. So I'm very careful about if I'm whatever. I'm not going to say that because I think my child is watching. My brother. But anyways, so I have said that I've sent a text to somebody by accident when it wasn't by accident. So that's kind of a spin, isn't it?
That was intentional, but it was an accident based on your reply.
So I got it. So you sent it intentionally, but then you ended up telling them it was an accident.
Yeah, because they probably. Oh,
I love that.
That's kind of.
I thought it was pretty impressive, personally.
All right, we got some good ones coming in here. After an event, I texted the other DJ about doing something that was illegal in some states. Turns out it was the event planner.
Whoop! You get that feeling where you're just like, you go cold. You're like, oh.
We gotta know, Jess. Did you get a response? And does that event planner continue to refer you?
Was that
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You got an event after that.
That's a good one. Yeah. How did the event planner respond? Jess, inquiring minds want to know. Luke says, was that the donkey story about the donkey? Oh my God. And Big Earn says, absolutely. I'm pretty sure I'm under surveillance right now.
Aren't we all?
Oh my God, that's hilarious. All right, so we're waiting to see. Okay, I think she answered. It says, yeah, it was cool. Turns out she does it too.
I was about to say, like, it'd be cool if you came together over this illegal thing.
Yeah,
and, like,
I was gonna say, Jess, I think you misspelled this. You missed it. You missed a G in this, by the way.
We bonded, and yeah, she actually refers me like 90% of my business now.
That's too funny. Oh man,
that's awesome.
All right, so that one's too.
Do you have one?
If
Dave?
You got another one, go.
No, do you have a story?
I don't think I've ever. Honestly, I don't think I've ever mistext somebody. To be honest with you, I really honestly don't think I have. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Bonded 5,000 over. That's too funny. That's too funny. Why is? Oh, here we go. Okay.
When's the last time you wet the bed?
That's silly.
That is not a Podex question.
I swear it is.
It's in there.
I wish I could.
Okay, there it is. Answer.
Okay, here we go. Here's one. This should get some pretty interesting answers from the peanut gallery. All right, here we go.
Every time I finish a bottle of tequila.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ernie says every time I finish a bottle of tequila when I was 3 and 3, very specific.
I think that's supposed to be 33 or 34.
I was about to say that.
when I was 33 or 4. Don't remember which one.
Could have been last night. Could have been.
Oh, that's great. That is great. All right. So here we go. This should get a good laugh from the peanut gallery. What type of contest do you think would be absolutely fun to judge?
Well,
come on, guys. Let's take
a Shakira wannabe contest because
Shakira wannabe contest. That would be good.
That's a dance.
Yeah.
I mean, 26-year-old heterosexual male answer.
Jello wrestling. There we go. Frank, what about you?
Oh, I have no idea. I like the Shakira dance contest. That sounds good to me.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Like sign me up for that.
Are you not a Jello wrestling kind of guy, or?
I mean, hey, I'm down with the Jello wrestling too.
Here's why don't we combine the two and have a Shakira Jello wrestling contest. Look, Shakira look like Jello wrestling contest.
That's meta.
What do you think?
I think something big.
What was your answer?
I'm in love with the hot dog eating contest. I know it's kind of gross, but I'm
awesome.
totally into that. It's just incredible. I mean, how?
Yeah,
why are you looking at me like that? I don't
especially
like
while Chestnut's in there, right? Chestnut's a machine. I want to be the one counting his count.
A literal machine, dude.
How many ways can I irk my wife? Can I recruit any judges? Love it. Oh, here's a good one. I like this. A rap freestyle battle with elementary age kids.
That's
all
a good
of them.
And Big Earn says you'd probably win the hot dog eating contest. I got a serious question. Do you eat a hot dog from the end or the center? The first bite, where does it go?
Why do you gotta say it like that?
I'm just curious. The first hot dog bite, is it from the end of the hot dog or the center of the hot dog?
I feel like I'm being judged right now. I feel like no. I mean, I just eat the hot dog.
Good answer to this question. There's not going to be a good answer to this question.
I'm not answering. I know where this is going.
Oh, you guys quit picking on my friend. Damn y'all.
Why you gotta say it like that?
Damn y'all, quit picking on him.
The algorithm than cussing. I'm telling you.
We're done. Yeah, we've been buried in.
All right, what do you got?
It's too late.
What do you got? We got a couple more and then we're gonna get out of here so we can give people a how do you eat your ice cream sandwich? Oh, that's a good question. Let's pause for that.
The ice cream sandwich.
Frank, how do you eat your ice cream sandwich?
I mean, I out of the wrapper.
Right. I lick all of the frosting out of the center, then I put them together, then I eat them.
Do you like lick around the edges of it?
Yeah. Oh, that's actually a really good point. I know some people do that.
What about you, Melanie? Do you lick around the edges of the ice cream sandwich and then eat like the rest of the chocolatey part, or do you just like gnaw into it like a badger?
So that way nobody else can have any of my ice cream.
You what?
Right? Quickly? It's like if I don't eat it quick, it's gone.
Somebody else is going to take a bite, and I don't want to share.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Chris says I start on one side down, then the okay.
That's fair.
Okay, so kind of meet in the middle, kind of a deal.
I got a good question. Are we ready for another question?
Let's do it.
If you were out at dinner with no cash, what would you do or say to get the bill paid?
I mean, to be honest, look, it depends on how much more food they're actually going to give me, right? I mean, if they're like, hey, come back anytime for free, I'll be like, cool, I'll do whatever it takes, right? But if it's one of those moments where it's just like, here's the bill, like, I got to go to the bathroom real quick, I'll see you in a minute, and then I'm trying to bounce out the window.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, that's fair. Melanie, what say you?
Yeah, what say me? Well, first of all, that's not even like you have Apple Pay on your phone.
In a hypothetical world where no cash exists, you are phoneless, you are cardless, you are Bitcoinless.
Erd says hit the fire alarm and run.
That's actually.
I would just tell them and like I'll be back. So this is fun. You want to hear a funny story? It's kind of like this.
We were hoping you would tell us a funny story. Yes.
So years and years ago, when I lived in Florida, my brother still has roller skating rinks, and we had a bus company. And I was driving the bus, and there was no gas left. And I went, oh God, and I didn't have any money. So I stopped, I put gas in, and then the guy's like, you don't have any money. I was like, here are my shoes. Like, they were really expensive shoes.
Wow. All right.
Nice.
I will be back for my shoes with the cash. So that's kind of like,
wow, that's a real life example.
That's too funny. And just as you offer DJ services, so there you go.
David, you got one?
Do you have a question or do I have an answer?
I feel like my wife would do something like Melanie said, but she would just leave me behind. She would be like, here's my husband. I'll be back for him in a little bit. And then she'll just never show back up.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I'm trying to remember if I've ever done that.
I would offer him a Clubhouse invite.
Ooh.
Well, there you go.
Goes full circle.
There you go. I mean, I don't know if they're skyrocketing like Bitcoin is right now, but that's a good idea.
Yeah, I wish I bought.
That's a good idea. I don't know if they're still up at 1,000 or not, but that's
$100,000 value.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, let's do one more each, and then we'll wrap this thing up. All right, we'll wrap this thing up. All right. What is the best inside joke you've ever been a part of?
We have another question.
What's that?
We have another question.
You want a different question? All right.
It would be horribly inappropriate for me to tell the inside joke live on air.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's the deal. If you don't answer the question I just asked, you are forced to answer the question I'm about to ask. So it's up to you two.
Oh my gosh. I personally can't answer.
I saw it, bro.
It would be way too inappropriate. My answer would be
horribly. They're both terrible.
Okay.
Neither of you are getting out of this alive.
I'm going to answer the second one.
So y'all are vetoing. Y'all are vetoing to the second one.
Yes.
All right. Here we go. Here's the second one. Big Earn says we were all adults. Here we go. What's the most embarrassing thing your parents have ever caught you doing? And the silence goes.
I never had one of those American Pie moments. So, not with my parents. So I can't think.
Nothing, Frank?
Wow. Not like that. I mean, not like me, like solo with a apple pie, right? Like nothing like that. I mean, the most embarrassing moment that I ever had with my parents, I wasn't even the embarrassed one. Like she was the embarrassed. The girl there was the embarrassed person. I was.
Frank was like, I don't give a damn.
Frank. So when I was younger, I lived in Jersey City, and it was a rough little city. And so I was hanging out with some friends that weren't so great, and they were spray painting on the wall down the alley where I lived, and I wrote my name.
Oh man.
My mother walks by and she comes home and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I didn't do that." She's like, "There aren't any other Melanies, Melanie. Go down there and clean that up."
Nice.
Oh my God. That's too funny.
You guys, you have to answer.
Yeah, you got one, David?
Let's see what Big Earn said. Trying to pull a splinter out of my ass cheek while standing on the toilet to see my butt in the mirror across the bathroom. This is something about Mary moments. Oh, that's a great one. That's a great one.
Oh gosh.
Brilliant.
I kind of feel like I'm like Frank. I don't think my parents.
Bro,
not really.
What?
Yeah, not really, man. I'm with Frank. Sorry.
And you have to answer the other question.
I already forgot the other question.
So did I.
You got one more?
What was the other question?
You got one more? I don't know.
The inside joke.
Wait, Nick didn't answer.
Our inside joke is senator.
Yeah, senator.
That's our inside joke.
We'll have to share that with you guys offline one day.
The typical stuff. I mean, American Pie moments.
So your parents have caught you with a hot dog, ice cream sandwich, or pie?
It's a long story, man, but
long being the key word here.
Band camp when I was in middle school was wild. That's all I'll say. Middle school band camp, 2009. Take me back.
Okay, can we just pause for a minute?
What's up?
Middle school in 2009. Let that resonate for all of the rest of us here right now.
Yeah, I was in the 8th grade.
Oh, you are a child.
Dude, you knew this was coming. You knew this was coming.
Oh, I play the flute, bro. No, just kidding. I play flute, clarinet, trumpet, trombone. Played them all.
I'm just gonna
for real. I actually played like several instruments.
I'm just gonna be over here.
I'm losing all credibility. It's just going out the window.
Chris Diss said you played the oboe.
Oboe, yes.
It's all right as long as David killed the algorithm enough earlier, right? Like nobody will ever get to this part.
Nobody will probably ever even watch this show.
It's too far gone.
They're gonna miss it.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh. Someone's like, "Hey, I saw you on that show."
Yeah.
What's up, man?
What's up with you and the oboe?
What's up with you and the clarinet?
Big Earn said he played the butt trumpet.
I actually played the saxophone, trumpet, and trombone.
Oh.
Yeah.
In 2009.
With instruments.
Sometimes.
I mean, I know you're talented, but I didn't know with instruments. That's pretty impressive. All right, one more each. One more each.
I need to find a good one. I feel like we've done some of these questions.
All right, you want me to go?
Yeah, if you got a good one, yeah.
Just for screen recorded everything for Instagram sharing purposes.
Tag me on it. Let's go.
There you go. Hey, at the end of the day, Jess, this show is like legit recorded live, and it's gonna be on our YouTube channel, so it ain't going nowhere.
We disseminate it to every place. Yeah.
I've got his parents' email address. Trust me, I'll be sending them the link.
Have you seen the show that your son does every Tuesday night?
Did you know that your kid?
Do you know about band camp in 2009?
Right.
No.
Did you know your kid liked hot dogs?
Did you know he ate the hot dog side first?
David pulled it out.
All right, everyone. We'll see you later.
Oh my god!
Our audience is completely.
Did you find one? Did you find one? People are leaving us in droves.
Where they?
I'm just watching our numbers just plummet right now. Did you find one or no?
I'm looking.
All right, I'm going to ask mine while you look for one. All right. What is the worst gift? Oh, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. What is the most awkward gift that you could receive from your child?
Oh, that you could receive from your child?
What is the most awkward gift that you could receive from your child?
Well, I think we all know the answer to that. It's just a matter of who's going to actually say it. That won't be me. I'm already in the hot seat, or in the house. So
all right, Nick, do it.
No, I can't have any more.
Look, Big Earn voted for you to say it.
Come on, man. God. Come on. What you got?
I mean, list them all. Condoms.
Okay.
Toys of any kind.
Okay.
The adults kind.
Okay.
I've seen some stuff.
Oh, look at this one. Enhancement pills in the toe.
Yes.
Oh, I wish I had a microphone that I could drop right now. That is awesome.
DJ Chris Disc, thank you for saving me. That was brilliant.
I keep saying I'm going to get like a foam microphone so we can drop it on camera. Yeah. That's awesome. Nicely done.
We might have to go back there and clean up this episode.
Nicely done. Yeah, this episode is probably not going to be.
Some of these questions.
Yeah. That's pretty incredible.
And by the way, I don't know how well we're really selling pod decks. Like, it sounded really cool and professional in the beginning. I'm like, yeah,
talking about
these are great conversation starters. These are great conversation starters for when you start your podcast and when you interview Elon Musk and talk about
Bandcamp in 2009.
Bandcamp and hot dogs.
I love it.
I think we've been lied to.
Oh, all right, God. I got one more question. It's pretty good.
This is the last one, I think.
What is the weirdest thing you've seen in someone else's house?
Ooh, that is a good one.
Yeah, I like that. All right.
Melanie, give it.
So I saw and like as legal, I don't know if I should even say this. I don't know if that's legal.
Well, just don't say, if you don't say who they are, Susie, then we'll never know. I just said Susie as if it was a
Susie.
Yeah, no.
She was like, "What?"
I didn't mean to throw you there. I just meant like I was just referring to maybe this was your friend Susie. I apologize. I didn't mean to throw you like that.
Oh no, it's all fine. I'm not going to say what it was because I think it might be like not good. So sorry. Say it, Frank. I can't do that. Sorry.
Thank you, Jess. Go ahead. We'll just say person unnamed had blank in their home. Susie. What do they have?
I'm sorry. It's too weird.
We have dirt.
I know.
It's okay.
Like you raised your hand and everything. Like
I was so excited because like this is my problem. I get so excited and then I'm like, oh, filter. You
heard about Bandcamp. You heard about it all.
No, I'm not gonna say it was I'm not saying it. I can't say it. I'm sorry.
Just as you gotta spill it. What does it rhyme with?
We're all incriminated here.
What does it rhyme with?
It's because it was too weird. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Does it rhyme with dildo?
No. No. Why are we doing this?
Does it rhyme with genius?
It was a skull. It was a human skull.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Was there still skin on it? Like, what was so? I mean, maybe they're a doctor, or
have you ever seen a real human skull?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
In somebody's house?
Not in someone's house, but I mean, I can understand how it could be one of those like weird, those weird like CSI type, things. I could see it. I mean, like an exotic type of thing. If it wasn't done maliciously.
Yeah, they didn't kill anybody.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Did you ask him though? Did you say like, who is that?
Yeah, who?
My grandfather. I did walk away really quickly, and I got out of the house.
I mean, think about it. Some people keep like ashes of their people that passed away. Some people keep weird, like I don't know. Maybe it was their father's skull. I don't know. How big was it? Was it like straight up human size, huge?
It was a baby skull, and I didn't. I was just like it wasn't. It was weird. I didn't ask the story.
I think you should have. The reaction changed from all three of us when you said that. We were all like, "Oh, wait a minute, that is a little."
Yeah, we're like,
trying to verify the reason for being okay. It could be a human.
Face when Nick was trying to validate it was just like.
How can I try to find something to not make you feel uncomfortable?
Oh my God! See, Jess said she found ashes at an Airbnb she stayed in. It's all. I mean, it's all the same.
I got a really weird one.
Skulls, whatever. All right, go ahead. What's yours?
We're already in the doghouse, so might as well just keep going. So I was filming a real estate property. So I was, they were selling their house, and it was in Orlando, and it was in this very nice apartment. You know that wall? It's the W55.
Yeah.
Right off there. He was up on like the very high floor. It was a nice apartment. So we're going around. It's very medieval. It was very medieval vibes. Actually, I have a highlight video on my website if you want to go look at it. Not what I'm about to tell you, but of the place. You can see the big medieval doors. It was very nice until I got into his bedroom, and I was like, what the heck? And he had all of these chains, and it was very, very, very 50 Shades-esque. If I could.
Was his name Christian by any chance?
No. Okay. But if Christian Grey was
I can't believe I knew that, but
yeah,
I'm on fire. Whoa. You get a Dr. Pepper in me, who knows what I'll come up with.
You've watched 50 Shades. No, just kidding.
I sure have.
I've read all 3 books. No,
I sure have not.
But it was very 50 Shades-esque, it looked just like in the movies, and I was like, ooh, what is that? And it was super creepy, and I didn't make it into the video, and was just freaked out with the realtor. The realtor was like, not sure what to do about this. So yeah, we just kind of backed out of the room. And it was funny because the realtor had told him, if you have anything, you don't want shown,
if you have any whips or chains or
right,
baby skulls laying around, like just let us know ahead of time.
Yeah. So we were all kind of befuddled. So yeah, that was the weirdest thing I've seen in the house.
That's pretty weird.
Frank, what say ye?
Man, I've never seen anything weird in somebody's house, but when I was in Amsterdam back in like 2011, and we were staying in like a 2-story. It was kind of like a hostel in a way, I guess, but it was like our own little apartment, 2-story apartment, and we found like a rag under the bed that was like covered in blood, and I have no clue like where it was or what it was from. We just like got him to clean it and switched rooms.
That's wild.
No, that's crazy.
That's really creepy.
Yeah, it just throws me back to Hostel. I was just like, think of that movie, and I'm just like, I got to make it out of Amsterdam at this.
Is that movie not the weirdest movie ever? I think I brought that up on a show before, haven't I? Like that movie, like it's like the first half of the movie, like, oh yeah, this is a really cool movie, and then you get like halfway through, and you're like, oh shit, really? Okay,
what the heck is this?
Okay, what am I watching now? And then if it wasn't bad enough, they made like 2 more of them. Well, I think this has been a really good learning experience tonight.
Clubhouse is an incredible networking platform.
If it were not for Clubhouse, this craziness would have never even happened.
Honestly, it was fun. I enjoyed Melanie and Frank. I enjoyed our conversation. It was fun. It was light. It was enjoyable. I thank you both for being on with us. That's all I'd have to say.
I feel like there's a but there. I don't know.
No, I know.
You did look like you were waiting.
There is a but, because like through all the pod decks and whatever, like it's fun. It's fun community time, and I do enjoy it quite a bit. So,
Nick and I are very good yin and yang. If you guys haven't noticed that, like he's the sweet, loving.
Am I though?
He's sweet. He's loving. Jess says, "Going to put my boys to bed. Thank you for educating and entertainment. Bye, Big Earn. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Jess. Thanks you for joining us.
Jess. Yeah, for real.
We hope you'll come back. We hope we haven't scared you off too far.
No, I'm never watching them again.
Well, that was really fun.
Block, delete.
That said, I think we have come to the end of our night on our live show, because this has just gone so crazy. But in all reality, like Nick said, thank you, Melanie, for joining us tonight. We hope that you were we hope you enjoyed our antics. We hope you enjoyed our craziness, and we're honored to have you on here with us.
Well, thank you, and I'm honored to be here, and that was really a lot of fun. It was much more fun than I thought it was going to be.
I'm glad. Wow, I'm glad.
Like I had like fun. Like I was
like, this is gonna be something.
We usually set the bar really, really low, so that way we
come out and it's great.
I said fun.
Yeah.
Big Earn. It's different. Like I thought it was
that way. If you just like talk, then we've already gone way beyond what we set the bar to be.
That's not what I meant. You know that.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. Well, at the end of the day, guys, here's the deal. If you're on Clubhouse, look for what do we call it? I forget what we called it now.
Pros, Wedding Business Growth live after show.
Yep. Yeah. So just go and look for Wedding Business Growth after show on Clubhouse. If you guys are on Clubhouse, we're going to be, you know what? We're going to go over there in like 10 minutes. 10 minutes. We're going to go over there. Yeah. Does that work?
Senator. No, that's fine.
Yeah. Typically we started at 9, but we're going to go, fair. You know what? To hell with it. 9 o'clock. See us at 9 o'clock on Wedding Business Growth After Show, 9 p.m. Melanie, can you make it?
I can make it.
Cool. Yeah. I added you as one of the hosts, so it'd be easy for you to find. All right.
I love hosting.
If you all are not on Clubhouse, well, you're missing out. But everybody pretty much has invites, and we'll be happy to send them to you. Just reach out to somebody, like Big Earn said. Bring your drinks. We won't see them, but we'll trust that you have them. And we'll just continue this conversation and have a little fun afterwards, where we can really just say whatever we want to.
Okay. Thank you, guys. That was really fun.
Scotch.
No scotch.
Yeah, I know, right?
Peanut butter jelly shots.
All right. So we will, You did it to yourself, bro. You did it to yourself.
Sure did.
All right. We're out of here. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good